And sitting up, Sukhasana, Virasana. Virasana is often a little easier to maintain an upright seat, where cross-legged can be a little bit more challenging. It's all about placing the basin. If you roll back onto the sits bones, notice how the whole front seam collapses. And that may be how we sit a lot at our desks. Going the opposite direction, an overarch, so you sit at the front of the sits bones, we're kind of jamming the low back. That's not desirable either. There is a place right in the middle, and if you use your sits bones as the gates, if you sit kind of tall on the sits bones, not at the front part, not at the back part, and then let the spine rise up and out of here. That is the anatomically neutral position. But because we live in our bodies, it may not feel so neutral or natural anymore. The rubber bands. And so when we get to the neck and shoulders, the irony is they really are just along for the ride. The shoulder joint is a fascinating joint anatomically because it's like the arms on a scale. With the collarbone, as it sits, it attaches to the sternum, this little joint. And this is what negotiates the collarbone out to the upper arm bone, which sits into this very shallow socket. And then that connects to the shoulder blades on the back. But the shoulder blades don't really anchor into anything like the sacrum or the pelvis to the thigh bones. They float, so it's sometimes called a false joint. And we need to maintain the mobility of the shoulder blades. If you squeeze them together, we're going to be doing that a fair bit tonight, and then relaxing them. A lot of what happens is our shoulders are pulled forward, because that's how we use our arms, so the pec majors on the front are tight. And everything scrunches forward. That throws the head forward, because there we are. It collapses that front body again. So the back body is overstretched, and the muscles here are weak. The front is too tight, and the muscles here are just as weak. So creating that balance where there's even tension, tensegrity is, I think, just a funny word. It means that the tension is just right, not strung too tight or too loose. Like a violin, you can play it not too slack, not so tight that you're gonna boing, because that's uncomfortable. And that boing is the thoracic outlet syndrome. That was the last of the photos. If we are clamped down, the muscles of the neck are pulled down on to the first and the second vertebrae. The collarbone sits right down on top of your ribs. And because the nerve complex that comes out of the neck has to travel under the collarbone. So if you have tingling and numbness in your arms and hands, lift the girls. So it's easier to teach a girl class because that gets the collarbones off those ribs. And now the nerve complex has space, along with your arteries and veins that supply blood to your arms. Joanne, welcome. So we start with Adi Mudra, the first mudra, placing your thumbs inside the palms of your hands and close your fingers around the thumbs. This is a mudra that grounds and calms. And after yesterday's tragedy, it's just so close to the Atlanta tragedy. It's just, I cannot wrap my mind around what is happening. And grounding myself into my reality first, so I can extend outward second. The main purpose of the yoga practice is to provide ease within ourselves so that our hearts are open to support those who are suffering. So it doesn't end with ourselves, but if we are wrought up in our own suffering, we don't have anything extra to offer. And there are clearly much suffering, no surprise, that has instigated this. The Ho'oponopono prayer extends the energy of Sutra 236, the 4 keys of ease, where we extend friendliness towards the happy, compassion towards those who suffer, joy for those who are virtuous or accomplished, and equanimity is the word often used for those who are troubled. I think those who are regarded as wicked is another word sometimes used, or troubled, or oftentimes much suffering as well. In Buddhism, we sometimes talked about othering. We like to say those people, the other people, are evil or bad. But we know there's truly no separation. There is no other. There is only us. And we must heal all of it within that, without a separation. Because the sense of separation, which we have in our kleshas, the causes of suffering, part of the ignorance and the fear of the others, which is ignorance. Again, there are no others. There are only conditions that we all own that creates suffering. And each one of us will tend to those causes differently. It starts with awakening and doing what we can to alleviate suffering. So I invite you, as you sit with the breath drawing in and out, and you invite in, and this is hard, you invite in the notion of suffering. And the Ho'oponopono prayer, powerful healing, starts with simply, I am sorry. I am sorry. The second is, please forgive me. The third is, I love you. And the fourth is, thank you. Some of these are thorny, very thorny. Practicing meaning wrapping our arms and minds around all that is, not just the pretty stuff. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. We can say this to ourselves when we feel we don't quite measure up. We can extend it to the person that wants to pick a bone with us, fluff our feathers, because maybe they're having a bad day. Extending your heart rather than your ego is often much more beneficial, but the ego is ready. Oh, it is ready. Hence the reason it is the second cause of the cleshas, the causes of suffering. Relaxing your hands, opening your eyes, and let's switch the cross of the legs. And let's do just a little bit of movement first. So lifting up, and then take the arms down again. And as you do so, feel the shoulder blades moving on your back. All our arm movement should have a mirror shoulder blade movement. Lifting up, spreading outward as we draw the arms up, and sliding back down. Don't force a movement. If it's not readily available, just take it easy. Now we're going to lift up again. And let's take the right arm down and we'll side bend to the right. And come up to center. We'll go to the left. As best as you can, keep your elbows straight. We're just going to keep going. Keep the elbows straight. The fascia line that surrounds the heart, the lungs, and the pericardium travels, keep going, but travels out through the arms. So in this movement here, we bring ease to our heart center. We bring ease to the lungs. Next time you go to the right, let's twist. Inhaling up. And go to the other side. Back up again. Back and forth. Inviting gentle mobility into the ribs. Lifting, spreading the ribs open. And then after you finish on the left side, we'll take the arms down. Let's take the legs out in front and just shake them out a little bit. And then let's switch the cross again. So we're going to do this a couple of times here. Actually, I take that back. We're going to go right into Gomukhasana if it's available. So bend your knees up a little bit. I know it's hard to see what I'm doing. You're going to thread your left arm under your left leg. Take the leg and take it to the outside. Now I'm really screwed up. Come off your support. We're going to have to turn the support around so we have a skinny support. You can also sit on the block here because we need to make room for the feet on each side. So I'm going to skinny it up. Now let's do that again. And then that will hopefully make a little bit more sense. So we're going to thread, leg under. So my knee is now centered with my body, with my belly button. And then take your left leg across, wiggling it around to the side so that the knees are one on top of the other. And if you go, well, this ain't my favorite pose. Then what you do is you slide it right back to Sukhasana. It's perfectly fine. We always make it work. Yoga is not about increased suffering. So Sukhasana it is. Just know what side your cross is right now. Take your strap. I don't know, now she tells you. And then have your strap about 3 feet wide. And let's hold that out in front. About 3 feet. Elbows are straight. And we'll take the arms up and then we'll go back. And down again. We're just oiling the shoulders up and back. So the goal is not to dislocate your shoulder. And maybe going all the way around. So 3 feet, 4 feet, if you hit your forehead, it may be a little too wide. This is a great one to do in front of a mirror because you'll notice if one of your arms are doing a little zigzaggy. Can you travel with the arms evenly? So maybe retrain the one that isn't quite as excited to follow along. So this just helps maintain shoulder mobility, but don't force. If you're noticing that your shoulder mobility is a little snug, then, add this to your regimen. Back and forth. Facilitating flexibility. Not only do they know that flexibility and our cardiovascular health are closely related, they are also now realizing that cancer and flexibility are correlated. So maintaining flexibility. Let's take our left arm to the top, straightening the elbow. I'm holding the strap. Bend the elbow. Take the right arm out and palm facing back, slice it up behind and catch the strap. Walk your left arm down, 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 so the elbow is pointing straight up. So you're rolling the left armpit forward, forward. Now, the rest of the trunk is still neutral, right? We're not doing all kinds of weird stuff to the spine or the head. Can you maintain a lifted spine? So you may want to give yourself a little bit more strap so that you don't get all congested. Once we are in the position that's comfortable, the work begins. On the inhalation, lengthen up through the left elbow and keep drawing the outer left armpit. So don't let go of the strap. I'm just going to show you. Draw the outer left armpit forward. That moves the shoulder blade as far away from the spine as it can. There, nice. And as you exhale, now draw the right shoulder back. Draw the right shoulder back, meaning the right shoulder blade moves towards the spine. Let's do the left side again, lengthening up, move the shoulder blade away from the spine. Exhale, draw the right shoulder blade in. The only pose in all of the practice where the shoulder blades move separately. And then release, right arm, straightening the left, and take the arm down. Let's roll the shoulders, because that feels good after this one. Both directions. And we'll switch, straighten the legs out, and we'll thread to the other side. And again, give it a go and see, maybe it's kind of available, and then transition into Sukhasana again. So this time we're going to go, yes.
I can't sit in Sukhasana and it be comfortable. Is Virasana okay at all for this? Or
Yeah,
is there a way?
Virasana is fine.
Okay.
Thank you. You can also, if it's really uncomfortable, you can sit in a chair for this, since this is mainly about the upper back.
Okay.
If that is more, but Virasana, thank you for asking, Jill. So we'll go to the other side. Bend the elbow. And so this time we can take the arm up. Can we get this arm lifted up? Move the armpit forward, and then we'll take the other arm out and slice it up and connect to the strap. So this is the bra hooking mechanism. If this is difficult, then we go, what's going on with the rotator cuff? Tendons. Now, as you inhale, you lengthen up through your right elbow. So that moves away from the spine. And as you exhale, left moves towards the spine. So in this pose here, we have all of the inversion arm positions. Keeping it snug. Can you make the upper arms be perpendicular to the ground? So vertical, not horizontal. Keep the elbows are moving towards the midline of your body. So right now, your right arm, it's doing what you need to do for downward facing dog or puppy, dolphin, headstand, we're not doing that. And your lower arm is in the position for bridge pose, for shoulder stand, for Viparita Karni. So preparing the body for the practice through this. The in-breath leg lifts upward, the out-breath grounds downward. One more breath. And then release your left arm, straightening the right, take it down. Rolling the shoulders again. Feel the shoulder blades. So this one is fun. Draw your right shoulder, circling the right shoulder. Let's let it be easy. Don't make it super hard. And then add the left shoulder, but a little bit behind. So not quite on the same tempo. Let's do the other direction. And sorta. That's going good. All right. Take the right shoulder and roll it forward. And now the left shoulder is going backwards. Now I find that if you're having just a conundrum, something that you're just chewing on, let's switch, other direction. Do this and it will just clear your mind off whatever it had gotten yourself all wadded into. Because we're crossing over the callosum, corpus callosum in the brain to do this. All right, shake it out. I think it was good enough. Take the legs out, straighten them out in front and give them a good shake. You're gonna take one of your blankets and you're gonna roll it into the spinal roll. So you're gonna unfold it. So it's half the length of the blankets. And then you're gonna roll it into this little baguette. I wish that not only would you have a visual, but you would have a sensory, so you would know the amount of suffering I'm going through here. My husband baked a loaf of bread and he has chicken soup on the stove, and the scents are just like, I'm just like salivating. One day when we can all be back together again, I think we need to have a potluck. So I got my roll up, I got my fringes at the head end. And if you know you have some tightness around the neck, you may want a second blanket for your head. So we'll just have that at the ready. And you will come to lay beside it. So you can just pop right up on it from skull to sacrum. Skull to sacrum. And what this helps us do is it helps bring a little bit more space to our pec majors. Let's take the arms out to the sides. Keep the knees bent up. So keeping the knees bent. And then do just teeny little rolls from side to side. So the arms are heavy. It's not a big event, but you can feel how the blanket roll is right between the shoulder blades. So we're getting a little bit of awareness and sensation on the rhomboids. And also on the shoulder, that's getting a little bit more stretch on the front of the shoulder as you rock from side to side. Now, as you come to center, taking the arms towards the sky, palms facing each other. So as you lift the arms up, shoulder blades are spreading, that's protraction. And then draw the shoulders down, hugging the roll with your shoulder, that is retraction. So protraction, lift the arms up, palms facing each other, and then slide the shoulders down. Now lift the arms up again, protraction, and then draw the low back towards the floor. So not harshly, but stabilize the spine as you take the arms overhead. This is your downward facing dog arms, warrior one, Shalabhasana, handstand. Take the arms up. Retract the shoulders. Now press the feet down. We can lift up just to a little bridge, not more like an inverted plank. Lower down. Spine is grounded. Protract again. So lift the fingers towards the sky. Keep the elbows straight. Draw the arms overhead so we get some length on the lats. Now moving slowly. So we're moving with stability. Pull the shoulders down. Wrap your shoulder blades around your blanket roll as you lift the hips again. And let's do that one more time. Taking the arms overhead, lengthening. And we'll take the arms up and all the way down. Rolling off your little support roll here. And we're just going to come all the way around onto tabletop. And now for wrists that are not in love with tabletop, I invite you to come onto your knuckles instead. And that will be just as stable. That's right, your knees. So Joanne, you can do it standing, or another one, when knees are not happy, what you can do sometimes, what feels better, is you will take your blanket and then you will have your shins on the blanket, but your knee itself is not supported. Does that make sense? Do that when people have had knee surgeries. And so it lifts the kneecap enough up where it is not feeling the pressure. I hope you're healing up, Joanne. So tabletop. Now let's protract and retract again. So retract, sink the spine down so that the shoulder blades are squeezing together. And then protract, lifting up, going up and down. So this is not cat and cow. So cat and cow, well, we round up and we arch. You are just moving the shoulder blades here. So the lower abdomen stays, same elbows stay straight. Don't bend the elbows, no bending. Hefty fines for that. So all that's happening is shoulder blades are sliding together and separating. Elbows do not bend the elbows. Sneaky little boogers. So that's how the body compensates. So now coming up into the protraction, elbows are straight, shoulder blades are spread. But you're not rounding the upper back. You're not trying to give yourself kyphosis. Can you all see me? So if you look at me, look at the difference here, how rounded my spine is, and here. So my spine is neutral, but not overly rounded in the upper back. So from here, let's lift the right arm forward. So I'm protracting, Shoulder blades are spread. I'm reaching my right arm forward. The belly button is on the spine. And then do little circles with your right arm. So circling it around. So now we are asking the deltoid to really show up. Now, you know you're in charge. If this sucks, don't work so long. Take a break when you need to. Now go in the other direction, circling the arm. We're asking the upper back to help out. And we will take the arms back down. Is it your wrist, Allie, or is it your hands? Your shoulders. And moving, so you can also play with moving the hands forward or back. So what we're looking is again to play with stability of the shoulder joint and strengthening the upper back. So retract, protract. Let's take the left arm forward. It doesn't have to come all the way up, but we'll do circles again. We're just feathering out. The lats, circling with discrimination. Fine-tuning that circle. Keep the elbows straight. Keep the elbows straight. Move from your shoulder joint, not from the hand. Have you done both directions? This one, I think so. And take the hand down. We're going to walk the knees back a little bit so we can come into puppy pose. Tuck the toes under. Keep the hands moving forward. And then inhale, moving up into our tall cobra. Lift the belly, squeeze the buns, and exhale, back to puppy. And let's do that again, inhaling up. And exhaling back. Moving with your breath, just gonna have a look-see. Just a great pose for the lymph ports and the armpits and the groins. Get things moving a bit. Next time you draw back to puppy pose, press the palms down as if you were gluing them onto the mat, and then traction the hips back as you draw the outer armpits towards the floor. So you're spreading the shoulders, spreading the shoulders, spreading the shoulder blades. This is your downward facing dog. Now from here, let's come up to tabletop again. And then to have a little chat with the upper back. We'll keep the hips over the knees. Now this time, walk the hands forward as far as they will go. Maybe the forearms comes to the mat, maybe the chin comes to the mat. It is not a goal to get the chin onto the mat. So keeping the hips over the knees, reach the arms forward, keep the hips back, and there's maybe an upper back bend. So be discerning. Viveka is the Sanskrit word. Too much of a good thing is not a good thing. Walk the hands back under the shoulders. And we're going to lift up to a little dog. Itty bitty little dog. And take the dog for a little walk. Let the head hang. Let the muscles of the neck enjoy the benefit of gravity. And then we're going to lengthen and come forward to plank pose. So you're going to have to walk the feet back or hands forward. We take the knees down again. And then protract, retract, go back and forth. And then land yourself back in protraction. So you're spreading the shoulder blades again. A lot of talk of those spreading shoulder blades. Can you feel as you spread the shoulder blade that the side chest gets a little excited? It's like, that's serratus anterior, and we need to get those dudes on board. From serratus anterior, maybe press the heels back into full plank. Keep your side chest hugging in. Keep protracting the shoulder blades. And from here, pull the hips back, downward facing dog. Head hangs. Your arms are doing now what we did in cow face pose, Gomukhasana. This is the upper arm. Moving the shoulder blade away, moving the shoulder blade away. And look up as you inhale and exhale, walk or step the feet towards the hands towards the feet. Take the hands to the hips and then bend the knees and piston yourself all the way up. Tadasana, mountain pose. And as you stand, and it's really good to have somebody check you out from the side, because we know ear, shoulder, hip, and ankle ideally lines up. But like that lady I showed on that picture in the email, her chin was kind of jutting forward a little bit. So I know none of you have a forward head, so you're just going to have to pretend that you're sort of slumped forward. Here, try to turn your head from side to side. What does that feel like? It's not very comfortable, is it? So as you ground into the heels, grounding the heels down firmly, but lift the heart. Lifting the heart. Now we're going to draw the shoulders up. Squeeze them up to the ears. Give them a good scrunch. And then I'm going to count to 15 as we float them down. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great way to get the upper trapeze to release. Now that we got maybe a little bit more length, you're going to interlace your fingers and you're going to take them on the back of your neck. And I am stacking my pinky fingers, like I do when we do dolphin. And I snuzzle that right up under the skull, right up under the skull. And then draw the elbows forward. And now lift the chin. Squeeze your fingers, squeeze your fingers. So we are now strengthening the neck and we're getting length back on those shortened neck flexors. And releasing the arms down and stand again. You can do this seated too. Now turn your head from side to side. Maybe you got a little bit more space. Here, we're going to play with Warrior One and Parsva Konasana. Great poses for the arms. Let's take our strap again and have it about shoulder width apart. If you know your shoulders are tighter, meaning you don't have the full mobility upward easily, then take your strap a little bit wider. That's perfectly fine. So I'm just going to hold it in front as I step my feet about 3.5, 4 feet apart. So you're going to face the long side of your mat. And we're going to turn the left foot in 10 to 15 degrees. Right leg out 90 degrees. And now we're gonna do our little dance here. Lift your left foot and then spin it. So you now come to face towards the left side of your mat. Both hips facing forward. Lifting the arms up, take them towards the sky, pulling on the strap. And then exhale, bend your right knee. So as you pull on the strap and you lift up, pull on the strap, lift up. Let the chin relax down towards the chest. So keep the back of the neck long. And then here, we are grounding, but we are also lifting the lower ribs up and away from the hips, creating space in the side waist and the belly as we get length on our hip flexors. Let's straighten the front knee, take the arms down, and then take the strap to the back. Now palms are facing up. I'm adjusting my feet here. Things were getting a little sticky. Rolling the shoulders up and down the back. So now you are retracting the shoulders. Pull the shoulder blades together. Lifting the arms away from your hips. Squeeze the shoulder blades together so there's still stability. And then exhale, hinge forward, Parsvottanasana. Keeping the legs firm, grounded, steady. So that sense of hugging the inner thighs together. I'm gonna have a look-see. Lifting the arms, so that keeps the front of the shoulders firmly lifted. Don't let the head drop, don't let the head drop. Keep the skull and the sacrum as far apart as they can. Inhale, come all the way up. Sorry about that. Oh, I can decline. I don't have a touch screen on that one, but I do on the other one. How you doing? Yeah, it's hard work. We should do the other side. What do you think? So let's step the feet wide apart. Turn now your right foot in, left leg out. And then we do our little dance. Lift the heel and spin it all the way around. And then adjust. So your feet are on two little railroad tracks. Remember, not on a tightrope. And again, let's take the arms up. Lifting, holding on the strap, and then bend the front knee, bending the front knee. So as I exhale and deepen the bend in the front knee, I keep lifting up, 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 and pulling on the strap, pulling on the strap. So I am protracting the shoulders. Make sure that your front knee doesn't travel past the ankle, so you might want to lengthen your stance. Just eke it further out. Yoga is all about create space, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Not being squeezed. No congestion. Let's inhale, straightening the leg. Exhale, take the hands down. Take the hands behind again. And how close you walk the hands, that's how close you walk the hands. Keep the elbows straight. You roll the shoulders up and down the back and squeeze the shoulder blades together again. Lift the arms and hinge forward. Hinging forward. So we're getting the hamstring event. Keep the elbows straight. This is a very challenging pose, I know. So the spine is long. If I were to place a stick on your back body from the back of the head to your sacrum, it should hit both of those. So Jill, take your chin a little bit closer to your chest, just a wee bit. So the neck is neutral. Neutral. Squeeze those inner thighs together and inhale, up you come. I know. Take the strap down, and we're just going to simply travel into downward facing dog from here. We're going to inhale forward to plank. Take the knees down. Keep protracting the shoulders, so spreading the shoulder blades, and then do a little push-up. Little push-up. So maintaining control. Let's see if we can lower all the way down. Keep the shoulder blade wide as you lower all the way down. And then as you come down, let's grab that strap again. Hold it out in front, about shoulder width apart. So lay on your belly for Shalabhasana, the gold standard. So now it's like having both arms in Gomukhasana, pulling on the strap, and feel how the outer armpits are wrapping forward. So you're laying on your belly. And on an in-breath, lift the arms, head, heart. Lifting, 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 and lowering down. So your arms are going to be as wide as they're going to be. Elbows are straight. That's the key. Elbows straight. We're going to do this again. So inhale, lift. Arms, pull on the strap, pull on the strap. So you feel your deltoid, your shoulder pillows engaging, and you lift up. And maybe the legs, if it feels like a good idea to add the legs, but get as much height as you can up front. And lowering down. Take, place one hand on top of the other, so bend the elbows, and just let your forehead rest on the back of your hands. So crocodile pose. Let the legs flop out to the side. As you breathe in and out, invite the breath into the back body. Can you feel the back of your ribs expanding? You have lungs all the way around, but we think when we breathe, we sort of see the front body, so we think of expanding here, but make the circumference of your lungs expand in all directions. Can you feel the diaphragm moving down so it feels like you're expanding into your lower back? Your sacrum. So we're getting this visceral drag, the movement of the connective tissue. And then from here, let's move our forearms onto the mat for Sphinx pose. So the elbows are under the shoulders. Elbows under the shoulders. And with the hips drawing downwards, meaning the tailbone lengthens towards the heels so that the glutes are turned on a little bit. Now draw the shoulder blades together. We are protracting. Nope, we are retracting. There was. broadening the collarbones, lengthening the front spine. So now we want the shoulder blades to travel down the back. And there's a lot we can do from here. One of the things that I think is really nice to do from here is play with forearm plank. So from forearm plank, first I got to protract the shoulder. So spread the shoulder blades. And then lift the hips. Keep the knees down. Keep the knees down. And then again, hug your side chest inward. That's serratus anterior. Now tucking the toes under. And that may be as far as you choose to go. You can come into forearm plank. Forearm plank. So lifting the legs. Keep drawing the tailbone towards the heels. And lower the knees. Lower the hips. We are back in Sphinx pose. So now, what is it they said? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. So we are. Take your hands under the shoulders. We're going to push back up into tabletop. So the shoulders, right? It's a joint built for mobility. And so one of the jobs that we need to do is make sure that we have mobility, but then we also need to make sure that we are strong. For dolphin pose, placing the forearms down on the mat. So again, Joanne, you can use the blankets under your shins to take care of your knee. So protract the shoulders, spread the shoulder blades, right? And then as you inhale, lift the knees, lift the hips. The head hangs down, just a little dog. Keep spreading the shoulder blades as you lift the shoulder, top of the shoulders away from the floor, away, lifting up, lifting up. So you are hugging the whole shoulder into the joint with your deltoid muscle. Now this one can be done on a wall instead of down. So everybody take your knees down and rest in wide knee child's pose, because that seems like a good place to go right now. Pausing here. Letting your arms relax, shoulders relax. Your head can be on a block, it can be on your arms. Be where you are comfortable. And then from here, I think we are about ready for Shavasana. So let's come on to our back body. And as you come down, let's hug the knees in. Rock from side to side. Squeeze the knees towards the chest and then take your chin towards the chest, hugging everything in. And then we release head and legs. And first, just check in. As you lay down, would your legs like support? In which case, slide a blanket under them. Before you support your head, take your hands behind your head and just lift and slide the skull back slightly. That may be enough where you get the chin oriented towards the chest. If the chin wants to pop up because the back of the neck is recoiling, then slide a blanket, pillow under your head. You may also like to put a blanket on top so you're really comfortable. Placing your hands on your lower abdomen. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be peaceful and at ease. Allow these graces to soak in to you. Believe them, own them. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be peaceful and at ease. Moving your right hand to your heart. And bring somebody to mind who nurtures you, who loves you, supports you, who's there. And holding this person or persons in your mind, extending again the metta meditations to them. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. And may you be peaceful and at ease. And then bring your left hand on top of your right hand on your heart center. And as you breathe in and out, sensing the love and the spaciousness in your heart. And then to those who suffer, whether you have somebody in particular in mind or you want to share it to those, all of those who suffer. From your heart space, may you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. Let your love support their suffering. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. As you breathe in, feel your heart expanding. As you breathe out, feel how it spreads love outward from your heart center. Loving kindness, metta. And then gently begin to deepen your breath. Bending up your knees. Rock the knees gently from side to side. Finding your way onto one side. Pause on your side. And then use your arms and hands to sit up. Om, spelled A-U-M, is the mantra with the highest vibration of them all, according to many teachers. So we'll close with 3 ohms and send that energy wherever it is needed, for healing, for wellness, for ease. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale and bow your head towards your heart. Big and bountiful. Able to support, to hold, and to nurture. We'll draw the gaze up. Namaste.